Hey, my name is Chris from My3DBase, and today I would like to show you how to assemble the NG-1, which is a fully 3D printed nerf blaster. And this took us about a year to develop, to get it to this point of maturity. And now it's pretty reliable with good performance. So in this video I would like to show you what the different components are and how those components are assembled. Basically, we'll need a bunch of Allen keys, we'll need a screwdriver, and screws that I have assembled in this little box here. This blaster will actually go to a guy called Low Ryan Mechanical Artworks. So I put a link to his Instagram account. So let's get started. So we have the backbone of the blaster, which is this component here, and it incorporates a bunch of features. First of all, the handle is attached to it. You will see later on, and it also attaches to another major component, which is used to house the motors and the magazine. So let's get started. For this one we need 3 nuts. Let's get those. Now these nuts fit into holes on the inside here, like this. Oh, actually this is the wrong one. It's the one below, I believe. Let's see. No, this is the right one. So the nut goes in here. The backbone attaches to the front piece like this, and we put in our first screw, which I believe is an M4, about 10 millimeters long. Let's use the Allen key here, and this one goes into here. So, and we have to make sure not to over tighten them, because after all, this is PLA, and PLA is quite a good plastic. I like it. Now, our thermal properties are not too good, but the mechanical properties of PLA are pretty awesome. I mean, this stuff is actually better than ABS in terms of strength and stiffness. I think something that a lot of people sometimes do not consider. And I've just put in the second nut here on the right hand side, putting in another M4 to tighten this up. Allen key. Yeah, and I think this is the only Allen key we need. There's just one size for all of the screws here. And there's another one here. I'm not sure if you can see this in the camera. No, I'm holding it wrong. It is here inside. We need to make sure we get it in there. So I can make sure I'm angling this the right way. Let's see. I should have put it in before. Okay, now it's in. So the main body is attached to this motor mount with essentially 3 screws, which is plenty. So this is quite a sturdy connection here. So there we go. So this is the biggest and most central piece of the NG-1. Now, the next piece would be, I'm figuring this out as we go, could be to attach the barrel, which, let's see, attaches again with an M4, but I believe this is M420, so it's 20 millimeters long. It's a little bit longer. Yep, this one goes in here. Let's get this in one in here. Yeah. Okay, that's not too bad. It's probably going to fall out again, and I have to do it over again. So I mentioned the barrel, and the barrel actually fits snugly into this front piece here, the yellow one. So the screw goes in through both of them, so like so. And move this one out of the way. And I'm not sure if you can see this. So, this is the way it looks now. So we've assembled, yeah, maybe 4 of the biggest pieces now. Tightening the front screw a little bit more to make sure not to over tighten it. There we go. Now there are 2 more screws to, you see one hole here and one here, and we'll use countersunk screw for that. This is, hold on, I think it's 2.2 times 6.5 millimeters. There we go. Where's the camera? And it's over here. So the whole blaster is printed with 0.15 millimeters layer thickness, which turns out is quite, for us at least, an optimum. I mean, you can go down with the resolution to 0.1, but this would increase print time significantly, and you can't really tell the difference in surface quality between 0.15 and 0.1. So 0.5 delivers quite good results. So let me think. Yeah, this is quite a nice piece. Let's try if we can see this on the second camera. This is basically centering the main barrel, and it has a 3D printed thread, so it just goes on like so, and that's it. Now for the colors, we've actually programmed some sort of applet online tool where you can choose colors yourself. So you just go to the page, and I'll post a link to that page in the description of this video. You can go there and you can select colors for the individual components of the blaster as you wish. Maybe we put this aside for a while and take the handle. There we go. Up is up, but left is right. So there we go. This is the handle, and I would like to put in the trigger. There we go. And this is done again with an M4 times 20. There we go. Putting in the nut here, snug fit, and the screw comes from the other side. I have to. There we go. Go. So most parts, as I mentioned, are printed using PLA. There are, however, some spacers used for the motors, which are printed with ABS, simply because ABS has a much higher TG compared to PLA, which means it can be used for higher temperatures. And the motors might in fact get warm, so we need some sort of temperature-resistant spacer between the PLA and the motors that we'll use. Right, you probably saw this. The trigger itself, this is the way it looks. It has some teeth up here which grab, the other way around, but this is easier to demonstrate in, so which grab the pusher, there we go, like this. So it's not an automatic version of the NG-1 at the moment. There is one, but I still need to invest some time in perfecting that one. So now we have assembled the dart, sorry, not the dart, the trigger, and the pusher we'll put aside for a while because that one is not required at the moment. I'll only show how to assemble the main components of the blaster. Now the handle goes in here, and again you will see it will be secured with, I'll show you in a minute, will be secured with 2 screws, one in the front here and one in the back. So we'll do that now. Again, I will be needing an M4. And both have 2 or 3 screws. Pretty simple. We have a second screw that goes in the back, which goes in here. There we go. So this is the way it looks at the moment then. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 components. assembled. Maybe let's move on to the grip. This is the grip here. It comes in this case, in light blue. This is also printed flat. This one will require very small screws, 2.2 times 5.5 or something, I believe. There you go. Every grip requires 2. Again, normal screwdriver. And this blaster uses, in this case, 2 motors. These motors are quite big, and the reason for choosing them is because even at lower current, they generate a lot of torque. They have quite high RPM. Even at 7.2 volts, so low voltage level, high RPM, and very high torque. And also the size will enable us later on to replace them with brushless motors. So there we go. This is the handle then. Yeah, maybe we'll move on to the top cover. So also for security reasons or safety reasons, there's a cover covering up the entire, all of the motors here, and this will hinge up. I'll show you later on how to open this. This actually gives me an idea. 1 sec, because I do have a pre-assembled version. Oh, this is, I believe, the 6th prototype, and this is the top cover that I was talking about, referring to. This is the one we'll do now. So I'll just put this aside for a minute. We'll need this bar, which attaches like this. It will hinge in the front here. So let's first go ahead and attach the cover with this bar, or this beam, or whatever you want to call it. Let's see. It goes together with 3 screws. So there's one here, there's one in the middle, and one in the back. So for that, we'll use our tiny little screws again. One was here, not tiny for now. So I'm going to kind of rectangle here. And one here. There we go. This one goes in like this. I need a nut that goes in right here. There we go. And the screw comes in from the other side. So there we have it. The main or the top cover, which goes like this. And I'll be needing a little piece of 3mm filament, because this lid needs to be secured somehow, and that is accomplished with a little slot. I'll show you in a minute how this works. So this one goes in like so, and then we have a slot. I just realized I should have made the shaft from another color, but I hope you can see it anyways. There we go. And this one goes into the slot, and then the whole top cover is firmly in place and can't be opened unless you push it up. So, I mean, the beauty of this is the fact that it's all 3D printed, except for these standard parts, which are screws you just buy. So, let me see what comes next. Yes, I need to, as I mentioned, I need to remove the handle again, because the stock comes first. So this happens if you don't rehearse your videos, but I don't have enough time to do them several times, so I hope you bear with me. At least you see me assembling the handle once. There we go. And another screw. This one. Hope it comes out. Yeah, it comes out. Thank you. So here we go. Come on. So here comes the handle. Yeah, the reason why I had to remove it again is because I forgot to put in a nut that comes in here. So let's try and focus on the camera. There we go. So the nut is here, and then we have this shaft, basically for the stock that attaches to the rear like this. Again, we'll be needing an M420. I'm actually wondering now if these are M4. Yeah. Oh. Obviously then the nut had to fall out. Come on. Go back in. Yeah, thank you. And constantly have to make sure I'm catching this on my smartphone, because otherwise you will not be able to see on the main camera what I'm doing in detail here. So, yeah, there we go. So the bottom screw is fixed, and there's another one. There's another one here at the top. Let's see this on the second camera. So here we have one at the bottom, and we need to put in another screw here at the top. So let me just go ahead and do that. Oh. Like, come on, go in. Oh, my screwdriver is magnetic, which is perfect. Not. There you go. Second screw. So the shaft for the stock is now assembled. Here we go. This piece. So we can go ahead and reassemble the handle, like so. And one screw at the front. I'm not assembling the pusher now. So this is what it looks like now. So basically identical to the pre-assembled one. Just a little bit of color is a little bit different. So let's put aside a few of the smaller components which we're not assembling now. Let's go for the stock, which basically just slides on like this, so it's adjustable. You have one M4 going in here, making sure you can adjust and fix the stock in any position. It's quite a simple solution, so we'll still there we go. So this is what it looks like now. Now, I mean, about the design. When designing this, I wasn't really paying attention to the looks of the blaster. I was more concerned with the performance of the blaster. So the design is basically performance driven and driven by function, not so much by design. So basically what I'm saying is that it turned out the way it is now just because of what it needs to do and how it needs to work. So what else do we have? We have a bunch of Picatinny rails. They're all equal except for, so let me just put them from the camera like this. So there we go. And we have one that is slightly bigger than the others, which goes here on top of the grip. So obviously you can install them if you want them. If you don't want them, you can simply put them aside. So with everything assembled except for the motors, the wires, this is what it looks like. I hope it was fun watching the video. And as I said, this one will go to, let me see, Low Ryan Mechanical Artworks. And I hope he'll have a lot of fun with it. He chose the colors using the little app I programmed, which you can find on our webpage. So I'll put a link to the webpage in the description. I'll put a link to our Instagram account where we post most of our stuff. And you can expect to see a few more videos. This is one of my goals for 2019, actually, to do more videos because we have quite a few designs. Some of them you can actually see here in the background. However, those are most failed prints, but I have quite a few designs I can show you. And so yeah, you can expect a few more videos. You can follow us on Instagram, occasionally Twitter. We put some tweet up on Twitter as well, but mostly Instagram, Facebook, and feel free to get in touch if you have questions or ideas, or So thank you very much, and Chris from My 3D Base out. Thanks.